All right, let's wait for this to go live. All right, rolling the commercials, and let's go ahead and let me mute this video on this end. Also, if you got the field is stacked. What the heck? What is echoing it? Oh, it's Twitter. Yeah, this is a fun stacked field. So for me, I'm doing 20 lines. I've gotten through 10, and normally the reason why I post I haven't done it so far because I just woke up like 30 minutes ago, but I did 10 lines last night, and normally when I make 20 lines, my first 10, 12, 13, like the first half I make are the ones I'm really aggressive on, or the ones that I want to build lines specifically towards the guys that I just absolutely love. That's why sometimes when I put in those exposures, like my early exposures for like my first 10, 12, 13 lines on Discord, it's normally really, really high on people. And so for me, out of my first 10 lines that I made, I got 70% Gregson. I got 50% Gibbs. I have 40% Allgaier. I have 30% Truex. And then I have 40% Byron. That's where I'm at right now. I actually end up with 50% Creed. And in terms of Jeffrey Earnhardt, Anthony Alfredo, Castle, I have 100% Jeffrey Earnhardt right now. I have 80% Landon Castle, and I have 50% Anthony Alfredo. I'm going to be trying to get over I'm trying to eat the chalk and be overweight on Jeffrey Earnhardt, even CJ as well. I think CJ is going to be a fantastic play at his price point, and with how well these cars have been performing for RSS Racing, I think he can easily hit value at $4,700. I think he performs better because, look, if Parker Retzlaff can hop into this car and actually drive it into the top 10, I believe that CJ can actually bring this car up and finish around 27, 28th, and easily hit 5x value. We only need like 25 points from. Actually, we need less. We only actually need around, what was it, 24, 23, somewhere around there. 21 is a 4.1. 23 is 4.8. I think that's perfectly easy for CJ to get. And that's really where my exposures are going to. I'm trying to let me bring this over here. I'm really trying to eat the chalk at the bottom, and in terms of the guys that are starting in the back who should very easily hit value, and mixing up with the lap leaders up front. Clearly, Gibbs showed the best car in terms of practice speed. I think Allgaier is going to be there at some point this race. I like Ryan Truex at his price, and Gregson starting first. I think Gregson really does have a good buffer because I don't see Tyler Reddick beating Gregson. I don't see Austin Hill beating Gregson, and I don't see Brandon Jones getting up there and competing for the lead right off the bat. And so, really, at the start of the race, Gregson has a 3-car buffer between the cars that can actually get up there and race against him. I think Byron's going to be up there as well. I think Byron can actually pay it off just due to place differential. Clearly, I'm giving him some laps led and some fast laps and stuff, but I think Byron's going to finish in the top 5 today. And so when we're comparing, who to play with Gibbs and Gregson, or who to play combined, like if you're playing 2 of those guys or 3 of those guys, it's pretty easy. I have my Gregson lines combined. Like I have clearly my Noah Gregson lines that I like, and then I have a Noah Gregson Ty Gibbs line, a Noah Gregson William Byron line, a Noah Gregson Justin Allgaier line, a Gregson Truex line, and then once I got those out of the way, then I started getting more creative, and so I have a Gregson Ty Gibbs Byron line. I have a Gregson Allgaier Ty Gibbs line, and so that's where I'm at right now. And then clearly I just have some lines where it's Gregson ran away with the field. Anthony Alfredo is just far too cheap. He fits in the lines too easily. I think Jeffrey Earnhardt is probably the safest play down here, just due to the fact that he is the cheapest of the guys down here. Actually, my bad. I don't know why I thought he was 76 and Anthony Alfredo was 79. I've landed on Earnhardt in every single line, and I'm probably going to stay that way. In terms of the chalk plays, very similar to Benedetto last night. They just have to do so little to get up there, And despite the fact that, I've given Earnhardt certainly a lot of grievances, him being in the Sam Hunt car, the car is a top 10 car. Jeffrey Earnhardt can get it to 15th. That's perfectly fine. Same thing with Alfredo. We know Alfredo's going to be at least in the top 20 at the end of this race. Same thing with Castle, despite the fact Castle didn't really get any didn't get any practice time. We saw A.J. Allmendinger go out there with no practice time and qualify 13th. Clearly, the Collie cars have speed. We all know that they're not going to compete for the win, but in terms of place differential plays, Earnhardt, Alfredo, and Castle are fantastic plays. If I'm not playing CJ, I do have Ryan Vargas, I do have Alex Labay, I do have David Starr, and I do have a Bailey Curry line right now. Those are like I said, usually my first 10 lines show where I want to be aggressive, where I normally want to be overweight. And so I just figured I'd talk about the lines that I have right now. And that's where I'm at there. It's really like my Sheldon Creed lines. Creed is interesting. I right now I have Sheldon Creed projected for 40.39 points. That's a 4.9 value. I'm giving him 3 fast laps in this race. I believe I got him finishing around 13th or 12th, but I think he can easily get in the top 10. And he's going to be the first guy to start pushing other lap leaders who either don't get a lot of laps led or who kind of just stay stuck in the top 10 out of the optimal line, in my opinion. And so a lot of my Sheldon Creed lines, it's focusing primarily on either a 2 lap leader type of line with either Gregson or Ty Gibbs, or it's just a runaway from, Ty Gibbs, Allgaier, or Gregson. And that's why I have around, what I say, 50% Creed right now, because those are more either 2 lap leader or 1 lap leader type of lines that Creed fits in there. All right, let me see. Pearce, happy to have you joining the chat again. I do appreciate that. But this is a slate where I don't necessarily want to fade the chalk. I think we're perfectly fine there. In terms of ranking Gregson, Gibbs, and Allgaier, I would stay in that exact order. Let's see. I talked about Creed. I don't think we do. I thought about this, but I don't think we do, just because we still have quite a few people trying to qualify each and every week. I don't think you can really afford to take, a finish outside the top 30. Hill and Mills got lucky that they qualified in just because we didn't have anybody. And also I do, when I did the projections last night, I left Kyle Leatherman in because I didn't know if he would end up filling in for Awuji or not. I'm not even going to bother fixing that, because if I put Awuji into the projections and I project Awuji for like negative 10 points, it'll just completely destroy the color coordination on the rest of the projections. And I'd rather it be somewhat appealing versus just one giant red negative projection. But I don't think we see that. I don't have that down. I'm not playing Yaley. I know Yaley's in an ex-Penske car, but he's starting 14th. I don't see much upside from that. I think, if anything, if Carl Long does decide to race that car, like with Yaley, and give him full bore, it's going to be very similar to Yaley being in the Rick Ware cars, to where I think a good day from Yaley is around 14th to 20th. And so that doesn't fit in for me in terms of projections. I'm not concerned about CJ. That's where I'm at. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think CJ is going to be racing around 26th to 24th all day. So that's where I'm at there. And I appreciate that. I like CJ. That's where I'm at. Like I said, I have Star in lines. And I have Ryan Vargas in lines where I needed to go down there. Let me look at my lines real quick to see how many lines I have with CJ and another punt. I have one line with 2 punts, with CJ and another guy. So clearly I can't imagine anybody else is going to project CJ to do well. And so clearly I'm just going to get different there. And playing CJ makes it very easy to play Earnhardt, Alfredo, and Castle all on the same line and still get to your lap leaders. So that's where I'm going to go, and that's why I'm 20 maxing and really leaning into that. Like nearly all my lines have 3 of the 4 guys starting 35th on back. That's just where I'm at. I like the lines. I like the projections. Uh, I mean, like when I run everything together, like some of the lines that it gives me, have Joe Graff Jr. in them, have um, have Stephen Parsons in them, and I just don't like that. I'd rather just circle in on CJ. He's cheap, even if he kills me. I like the upside of the place differential guys. I like grabbing Gibbs. I like being able to grab Gibbs and Gregson together and not have an issue there. And that's where I'm at. I have no mayor right now. If I was gonna play mayor, I'd probably just play Josh Berry or I'd play more Justin Allgaier. This is a tough race, man. It's gonna be hard to pass. It's gonna be a lot of fast guys pretty much locking out the top 5. I don't think Sam's gonna have that. I think Sam ends up running around 8th all day, and that's just where I'm at. So I don't have any Sam. What's going on here? Sorry, I got a phone call that I had to respond to, saying that I could not take it. Yeah, trust is a strong word, but I just have to at this point. If I'm doing 20 lines, I mean, the early, I'm probably going to end up with 190% Jeffrey Earnhardt. I'm probably going to end up with around 60% CJ when it's all said and done. Anthony Alfredo is probably going to be the lowest guy I have, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have 50% Alfredo. I'll probably have 65% Landon Castle. Those are the 4 guys I want to be heaviest on, and then I'm basically just playing those 4 guys at the bottom and just mixing up the lap leaders at top. I think that's the way I want to approach it. Yet again, I like Gregson the most. I'm gonna have Allgaier and Gibbs probably tied, and then clearly some Ryan Truex and some William Byron in there. I actually want to be underweight on Sheldon Creed. Looking at these lines now, I think a lot of people go to Sheldon Creed just because I don't think people are going to be as aggressive on the place differential plays at the bottom as I am. And when you don't do that, you end up playing a lot of Sheldon Creed. That's just how the lines end up being built. And so for me, I think I'm going to either be with the field or under the field on Sheldon Creed. That's really my only takeaway here. I really like this race because, in my opinion, my pool is like 12 guys that I just want to fit in as many lines as possible. I'm hoping that DraftKings opens up another $4. I don't think they will. I don't think the 4 is going to fill early enough for them to open up another chrome horn. But if they do, I'm going to certainly enter that one again. But that's where I'm at there. I don't really have a big line. Even on the Patreon, I said yes to the only people in the pool for me are Gregson, Truex, Allgaier, Gibbs, Berry, William Byron, Creed, LeBay, Earnhardt, CJ, Anthony Alfredo, and Castle. That's my initial pool. My David Starr play, my Ryan Vargas play is just to try and get some different guys in there, but that's really the drivers that I just want to use. It's Texas. So we're going to see a gigantic difference in terms of speed. We're going to have guys going laps down. Certainly in the back half of the field, Earnhardt, Alfredo, Castles are going to be fine for me. And the fact that we have so many, of the cheaper punts starting inside the top 30, I think, like I said, I think it helps out CJ. I don't think CJ Parks. If I'm wrong there, I'm wrong there. But that's really the takeaway. I really like this slate, and really because I'm not playing the All-Star race. I think I'm going to do one line just so I can keep my stupid achievement going. But I have no interest in playing the All-Star race tomorrow. I'm really not even going to put any time and clearly I'll project for stuff. But in terms of me actually building lines and really diving into everything for the All-Star race, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I have no Reddick right now. I said in the previews that clearly Reddick is. I mean, clearly it's an all RCR car, but I think Junior Motorsports and Gibbs right now have the advantage. I might um, play. I might add Reddick to the pool just to spread out ownership up top, but I don't have a lot of faith in Reddick. Now, granted, I said the same thing last night about Corey Heim, but it was so frustrating. I had Heim and I was still cashing up until the Zane Smith incident. So even with that whiff, we were still doing fine. That is very, very unfortunate here. Um, but yeah, I just like CJ, man. I really, really do. I like CJ. So I'm gonna ride and die on him today. And that's really a takeaway, man. Like, and I'm kind of in and out of my approach to this in about 15 minutes. That's really how it is. Let me see if there's any. Let me see if I can find anything else on here. But yeah, like I mean, CJ has a sponsored car, man. It's fine. I don't see any reason for him to park this vehicle. Um, let me. Where are we at here? Where's the practice speeds? Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Yeah, I mean, CJ ran late in the practice session. Um, actually, not late. He ran early in the practice session, but um, sure, he's 33rd fastest, but I like the play, man. I like the play. I don't think other people are going to be that aggressive, and there's too much place differential to not chase here. Um, Clearly, if Cass Earnhardt, one of those guys, wrecks, it'll probably be a pretty piss poor day for me. But I like chasing those guys, man. I really do. And there's certain types of chalk slates that I don't like chasing or that I don't like max entering on, and typically it's ones where there's value chalk. But the ones where, in my opinion, the mid tier is the chalk range, and you can grab lap leaders really, really easily playing CJ, and so that's the stance I'm going. So that's that's where I'm at. Yeah, and that's why, man. I don't see RSS starting to park in this 38 car with seat, and I don't think he's going to be anywhere close to what Parker can do. But for basically a free square, and and doing that, I like CJ. Um, I'll answer your question in a second, Caleb. I'm 100% on CJ. Um, I would absolutely go 100% if you're playing less lines. Like I said, at the moment I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of my first 10 lines. I know I'm going to end up with at least 12 or 13 CJ just to be overweight. Um, I think not even. I think. I mean, I don't know what his ownership's going to be, but I think he's just an awesome play, and I like the builds. It might it might end up being a really, really chalky slate, and if that's the case, well then I'll just be splitting with people. Yeah, that's where I'm at there. Um, and I've learned this year to where when these slates are wide open like this, to where there are a lot of potential lap leaders and stuff, ownership is spread out. Like it's not all on one person. And so at least this year, I feel like we can use that to our advantage. Of is if everybody's kind of like, well, there's so many good plays, and nobody really goes aggressive on people, and they kind of just spread their ownership out. That's when we can, take advantage of that and be overweight on people. So that's where I'm at there. I don't think Clements is the best play 6-2 under. Let me sort. I don't even know who's in that range at the moment. Let me look. Let's see. What are you asking? 6,200. Let's look. And this is another reason why I like CJ, because the 6,200 is pretty ugly. Like when I look at this range and I look at projections that I have for these guys, like Parsons, I have Parsons projected for 25.45 points today. I got Graf for 25. I have Vargas for where you at, Vargas? I got Vargas for 18. I got Bailey Curry for 22. I got Timmy Hill for 16. At that point we're at Mason Massey, and I got him for 21. And so really this range just kind of bottoms out for me until you get to David Starr, at a 4.4 value. I mean, you got Mills at the bottom too, but at that point I'd rather just play CJ. That's why I'm like, I'm not even gonna deal with the ownership in the 5K range really. And just play CJ. That's where I want to be at. And clearly you're not going to play a Wooji because he'll be black flagged in 40 laps for not maintaining speed, or he'll just wreck. Like there's a race that Wooji's just going to self spin at. It's going to be today. But yeah, I like CJ. He was in my core. Plays on Patreon. I think he doesn't even kill you if he doesn't get value, but the lines that you can build are incredible with him. You can easily chase the place differential back. You can easily play whatever lap leaders you want to do. And so let's kind of just change the subject and talk about who we like to lead laps the most. This is one of those races to where I'm playing so many lines, I'm going to end up on the winner, but I want to try and answer oops, gun to my head and things like that. Let's take a gander and look at the practice speeds here. So, and actually, the new data point that Pearce puts in PA1 is the stuff that I would normally do in my head. So yet again, Pearce saving you just a ton of time and effort in the PA1 tab if you scroll all the way to the right, because this is normally what I would do anyway. So when we're looking at that, Allgaier has the fastest car. When we look at Allgaier compared to Gregson, we got about a mile per hour difference in the fastest 5 laps. But when we're looking at, I want to look at the fall off really quick between Gregson and Justin Allgaier. So Allgaier is faster early in the run. We're seeing that. I think. Excuse me. Let me cough right fast. Hold on. When we look at the speeds head to head between Allgaier and Gregson, I like the speeds that Allgaier is showing more. That's why I went back and started the show with Gregson has the advantage of having the buffer, in my opinion. He's going to start in the inside lane. He's going to be the control car. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think Reddick is going to beat him off of turn 2. That'd be my only concern there. But I like the buffer that Gregson has right now. I think the real debate is going to be between Ty Gibbs and Allgaier. And looking at the speeds, Ty Gibbs has the better car, which is already backed up and shown in the practice data based on long-term speed. So I have lines with all three with Gregson, Allgaier, Gibbs. Like I said, I have some with just Gibbs and Allgaier, and then Gibbs with Gregson. I think the race today, late in the race, is going to be decided between Allgaier and Gibbs. And I think Gregson ends up running around 4th all day. I like Byron in this race more because yet again he has the place differential points baked in. He's going to be in the top 5 late in this race. When we compare the speeds that him and Gregson have, they're nearly identical speeds. And so Gregson is going to be running right beside Byron late in this race. And so if Gregson does get off to a slow start, that's where I think Byron can work his way into the optimal line, to where it just depends. It'll then default on if it's a Ty Gibbs, Allgaier, and William Byron optimal, or if it's just the main lap leader and Byron optimal. That's where I'm at right there, because like I said, I'm assuming that the place differential plays are not going to wreck, and they're going to each compete to be optimal. And so we're trying to figure out what lap leader we want to go with. And so that's why how I'm looking at it. That's my approach right now. So let me catch up on the content here. Sieg, man, what's going on with Sieg? What do we love Sieg for? Starting 12, $7,700. I got Ryan Sieg finishing 15th right now. Let's give him 12th, and that's still, that's not just his starting 31. Let's give him a bit of a more ceiling. I don't see it, man. Sieg has to have such a fantastic day, not even mess up to score in the 40s to where Earnhardt can have a mediocre day and score 45 points. Anthony Alfredo can have a mediocre day and score right at 41, 42 points. Castle can score, 45 points, not even really trying. I don't even like, that's another thing with, with Earnhardt, Alfredo, Castle. I just have Earnhardt projected to pass 20 cars today. Actually 18. Alfredo, I have him passing 17. I have Castle passing 20. That's not ceiling performances days from the place differential. That just for me to be able to quickly look down and see, on a bad day, what does Earnhardt have to do, and on what a good day does Ryan Sieg have to do. So I'm not playing any Sieg. That's where I'm at there. It is the fastest laps. Try not to. It is. What are you talking about? It is averaged. Hold on. I got remotes and my phone all over the place. Oh, it's the 5 lap. Excuse me. That's what it's looking at. It is. Sorry, I got my camera in the way. It's hard for me to always jump through the tabs and everything. I'm pretty sure that. How many people got watching right now? 48. I'm pretty sure. I haven't asked Pearce. I'm pretty sure the 5 lap average is like the 5 lap run, and then the best laps are the ones on the left are the best 5 laps in that, between the whole practice session. Like when you look at scoring laps in terms of best to worst, it's showing that it's the 5 best laps in the entire session, not in a single run. That's what you're looking at. Why? I mean, I never said he's not. First off, we don't use the term dominate because nobody dominates races anymore. Secondly, I have Byron as a top 5 car. I have Byron getting 8 laps led, 12 fast laps right now on a just a projection basis. Byron's going to race through the field. He's not going to get the lead on a green flag run, especially if we go green the entire time, because at the start of the race, he's starting 15th. Leader is going to have a gigantic advantage on him just due to the fact that we're going to see, the field kind of spread out. It's going to be really difficult for Byron to pass the top 15 cars in stage 1 under green. But then we get into pit road, we can see the speeds that, the junior motorsports cars are right on pit road. And that's where we can be like, okay, Byron's going to be running 6th to 4th today. Does he get the lead on pit road? We can lean towards that. I'm not going to project Byron to lead a crap load of laps right now when I can just see that he's going to hit value basically just doing his own race. So that's why I don't have him projected to kill the field right now in terms of laps led. But that's why I want to play Byron, because he's going to be pushing people out of the field, out of the optimal line that aren't leading laps inside the top 5. Yeah, Caleb, we're gonna be in the same thing. That's where we're at. Yeah. Sorry if it doesn't work, but that's where we're at. Glad you like that. Yeah, and that's okay. It's been a while. Well, Timmy Hill didn't even have a sponsor early in this race. Timmy Hill was in the car to qualify the car this week to make sure it got in the show. Let's see. I mean, clearly, because Yaley's in the Penske car, which, like I said, I'm not going out of my way to worry about Yaley in the Penske car because I'm assuming that's going to be their best car for Xfinity. They don't want to just destroy it on day 3 of owning it, you know. And it's been a lot more than that, but let's see. They're just trying to get points right now for the 13, and when we look at Yaley, yet again another Work Pro tour. I guess Yaley just has a great relationship with Work Pro tools, um, but when we're looking at how the 13's been running this year, which has been the let's try and get points here, let's survive here. For MBM, I'm not playing Timmy Hill today. I didn't comment on Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones, he's starting 4th. I have him projected to finish 7th today, with around 35, 33, 36 points. And so just for me, it's going to be a no for Brandon Jones today. No problem. Randy, I'm glad that you are here. Ask me questions and chit-chatting and talking and everything. I do appreciate you guys being here. Let me like that. I do appreciate you guys being here, spending your midday on a Saturday here. Also, another thing is the reason I'm making 20 lines for Xfinity is because we don't have any on-track activity today until late tonight for the All-Star qualifying and stuff, All-Star practice and qualifying, which is kind of good and bad. It makes it to where my Saturday is kind of free. I can just watch this race and focus on F1. But then I gotta pay attention to the qualifying later tonight and stuff. And like I said, I have no real interest in the All-Star race at all. So I figured I'd just move any money that I would normally spend on Sunday and either push it to the 600 or use some of it today for Xfinity. And I'm hoping, I'd really like if we don't have any yellows today. That'd be really fun to actually get an Xfinity race with just everything going green. I think it's going to be a good race today in terms of, and Pearce kind of mentioned it when he first came in, but in terms of a stacked field, I've limited like clearly, Gregson, Truex, Allgaier, Gibbs are the higher projected guys that they lead laps, but I have a lot of those guys. I have clearly there's differences, but I have a lot of those guys projected to be in very similar points. And then clearly after that tier 1 of projections between the guys up front to lead laps, I have the secondary tier, the place differential plays, Earnhardt, Alfredo, Castle, that easily hit value just having a decent day. And then after that, you really have just the bottom falls out on projections of guys just not hitting value, not being worth the place, the point per dollar play. I'm probably too nice to Alex Lebay, or too harsh on Lebay. I have Lebay for 33 points, a 4.8 value today. But he's really the only one that I see getting close to value, unless this race gets stupid and we have people like Mason Massey finishing in the top 20 or something. But that's why it's all, for me, it's all converging on CJ. It's very similar to weekends where I just love to punt in the Cup Series, to where I fully believe that the guy in the 4K is not going to be that far off of the guys in the 5K range. And so I would just rather go 100% on CJ and live and die by that today. And that's really the main takeaway there. What's up, Big? I'll probably end up ending this here because we kind of talked about everything here. Give you guys time to still mess with your lines, enjoy your Saturday off. Thank you for tuning in, Big. I appreciate you joining the live show. Matthew, thank you for commenting, being here. William Byron or Reddick, if you have and now this is like the line that you have here. I guarantee you I have, and I guarantee people going this direction have as well. And so do you want to, eat the chalk and be aware that you're not going to be the only one with the Byron, Gregson, Earnhardt, and all the guys in the back play? Because clearly Reddick is going to be lower owned than Byron. I like Byron a lot more. I have that line. Like I said, I'm just trying to get over, time with so many people by the volume of lines that I end up having. Yeah, head to head, I'd have Byron over Reddick. Ooh. Yeah, for sure then. I would for sure play Byron then. I would for sure do that. So that's where I'm at. Sorry, I think I always look at things in terms of the $10. Like I think that's that's one of my higher projected lines. And I assume it's going to be played a lot. Like we're probably going to have at least 80 people with that same line. In the $10, maybe even more. But I don't know where. Let me look real quick. Let me look and see. I mean, look, I'm playing CJ anyway. Let me see. Let's see. I hear nothing from that guy on Twitter. Let me see. The main hope today is just people don't play CJ. That's my look. Let me see. I'm trying to look at um quick content to see if anybody's mentioning CJ. It'd be nice if I'm the only lunatic pushing him like a goddamn conniption. Yeah, I see one person with. Let's see. I see one person talking about him. What is this? It's 4.5. I think free NASCAR DFS has 25% share of CJ. Like I said, I'm absolutely hoping to just outplay the field in terms of going overweight on CJ and the place differential plays. That's my approach today. I like Earnhardt more. That's where I'm at. Matthew, I'm giving you the best of luck. I hope you first off, I hope you cash in that tournament. Secondly, I hope you win it. I think we're gonna end it there, boys. That's really my approach. And yeah, so we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the. I mean, I'll do the video for the All-Star race. We'll shoot the breeze and have a good time. But Vargas or Hill, I would do Vargas over Hill. I would try and I personally I want to be really low. I don't like Timmy Hill at all, but that's just me. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll see you then.